This video is going to be a look at the Ravens' pass rush efforts in the NFL's Thursday Night Football opener, our 27-20 loss to the Chiefs. Thought multiple guys had an impact to different levels. Certainly, we didn't appear to get as much consistent pressure on Patrick Mahomes as the Chiefs were able to get on Lamar, particularly early in the game. Nonetheless, there were different players who had an impact who won reps. David Ojabo is the one with a huge sack that I think is noteworthy. ODAFE OWEH had two great get-offs, meaning he's the first guy off the line of scrimmage. If you remember when he was drafted and even his first couple of years with us, we were worried about slow get-offs. The ball was snapped, and he's the last guy crossing the line of scrimmage, the last guy at 1 yard or 2 yards depth, so not really taking advantage of that speed and explosiveness because he's slow getting out of his stance. Not the case on Thursday night, at least in the reps that I'm mentioning. A couple of quarterback hits for him, split sack between Trenton Simpson and Nnamdi Madubuike. I thought those guys played well, particularly Simpson. I did a film study video about him earlier this afternoon. Madubuike was disruptive and very physical with Mahomes when he got near him. Unfortunately, he was called for contact to the helmet one time. We're going to jump right into the film and show you guys some of the pass rush snaps and the impact that these guys had. Focusing on Ojabo, OWEH, and Madubuike. This first one happens to be a great read. I covered it in my Trenton Simpson video. A great read. We call it tandem read, banjo, whatever, between Simpson and Roquan Smith on the running back. If the running back is to release flat into the flats to our left, then Simpson will go with him, and Roquan will banjo into the middle of the field, perhaps to cover the low hole, or be a secondary rusher slash QB spy on Mahomes. Now, that's not what happens. Pacheco goes in the other direction, so Roquan takes him over. Simpson reads out of it. If you ask me, and adjust, he's really good at reading during the play. I didn't think we got a whole lot done on this particular one. Jones seems to have a really good club up under move. Didn't really go to it here. I'm talking about with his outside arm. You'll see it here in a moment. But split sack between Simpson and Madubuike on the first possession. Here's the same play from the all-22 angle. By the way, you have JAD in the game down here against Kelsey. Thought they snuck him in here sometimes to get him some reps and some opportunities. Almost somewhat similar to what the Ravens have done in the past with their right tackle situation. Rotate guys to safeguard in the event of injury, but Van Noy's getting upfield. So you've got an upfield rush, kind of influences Mahomes to step up some since there's no pressure up the middle. And with no one really open here other than crossing the field Xavier Worthy, Mahomes tries to get out of there, and Madubuike, Simpson close out, ends up being officially a split sack on their part. Second possession, really slow get off by Ojabo. It's a 3rd and 8. I think there was a couple of penalties on this drive. Incredibly fast get off by OWEH. Almost makes me think he read or jumped the snap here. We've seen him do that before. I think at least twice in 2021, once in 2022 for one of his few sacks that year. But tremendous get off at this point. Look how quickly he is off the line compared to the rest of these guys. And we'll even pause it one more time so you can see how slow Ojabo was in terms of getting off. But once he goes for his swat down with his inside arm, he being Ojabo, and Sua Matea pulls his arms back, Ojabo just goes underneath, and it's like the front gate is open. Kind of wider steps, if you ask me, by the left tackle at times. I think people had covered it in the preseason some as well. Ojabo with a clean win. I think it's also Madubuike getting in there late. End zone angle, same play. Travis Jones had an impact. I thought Travis Jones looked very explosive. The rotation of Madubuike, Jones, and Pierce, I think, is a devastating trio. This is the move that I'm talking about for Travis Jones. He's going to use his inside arm and kind of club up, basically drive or walk the left guard back into Mahomes' lap, such that there's really nowhere for Mahomes to go to the left. Maybe he could try to spin out of there, but Ojabo's one to the top side, holds on, finishes. I really thought this should have been a split sack, but looks like statistically they gave it to just Ojabo. Nonetheless, a great move, if you ask me, by Travis Jones to be able to get upfield, basically walk that guy back, who I think is a pretty high-level offensive lineman, obviously. Third possession, OWEH down here. This is the interception, the incompletion to Juju. Marcus Williams arrives, maybe a little bit late, but great hit to help jar the ball loose once Juju hits the ground. And OWEH, I thought there was two situations in this game where OWEH possibly could have been called for something. So same move, He's swatting down, and the left tackle has removed or pulled his arms out of there. And then Oweh just dipping underneath. I guess the ball is out. Maybe it's one step, like they call it. Thought it was two. I thought in this particular instance it was two. Didn't call it. Probably because Oweh didn't try to plant him or anything like that. He just made contact and then pulled up right as he made contact or realized the ball was out. I was a little surprised when I looked at the film this morning about how often we were actually creating pressure, getting quarterback hits, making contact with Mahomes. Of course, he scrambled. He's incredibly athletic and able to make things happen. Unfortunately, like he does here, fourth possession, Oweh with a missed sack. He's getting chipped by Rice, and then now he's got Juwan Taylor to deal with pretty much on his own. Clear contact to the face, not called. Oweh tries to rip out of there. Just situational awareness. You've got to know that your teammates are to the inside, and you cannot go to the inside as well. I'm talking about right now. You can't miss this to the bottom side where you have help. That defensive tackle, misses it and not able to finish it either. The point being, there has to be some awareness during the play of where you can miss the tackle. It's tough to recreate that, though, for real. I mean, it's tough enough to do it in a settled situation. Mahomes creates so many of these unsettled situations where the ball's been in his hand a long time, and you as a defender probably are in nightmare mode, worrying if he's going to juke you or leave you behind or make you miss. In this case, he does. It ends up being a 23-yard gain for Kelsey. I think we're trying to run a pick down here with Van Noy on this one, or switch rush, whatever you want to call it. It's a 5-man look. Roquan happens to be on the running back in this case. So he's getting out of there. He was just there to occupy the center. And very unfortunate miss on a 3rd and 12 for us. Oweh, if he wants to get to 10 or 12 sacks or something like that, those are the plays that's just got to be finished. Absolutely have to finish those so the defense is put in the best situation possible as well. Great pick by Van Noy on this one to get Madubuike clean. 3rd and 5. The Ravens are actually in dime. I covered this in the Simpson video. The only inside linebacker on the field, Roquan Smith. 2 edge defenders, Oweh, Van Noy. 2 defensive tackles, Madubuike and Jones. I think there's something to be said on a 3rd and 5 for putting a 3rd edge rusher on the field, to be honest with you. But at this point in time, the Ravens' system doesn't seem to really want to do that, and we didn't do that a ton last year. Here's the pick by Van Noy on the right guard. Madubuike looping around. Creates an easy path on the loop. And at no point in time is Xavier Worthy open this route. This is an example of predetermining where to throw the football. All quarterbacks do it. Well, let me rephrase that. Predetermining where to go with the football if we get a particular coverage. They're very fortunate that one was not intercepted. Ravens able to hold the Chiefs to a field goal. Same play, end zone angle, so you'll see the collision of Madubuike and the pick nature of it. Madubuike's gone. He's out of here. He's hungry for a sack. He's not letting the pick happen and then go. He's gone because he knows that they're going to finish it off. Oweh's there as well. And Oweh and Madubuike both make contact with Mahomes. I thought there were some times where we were close to possibly getting a penalty in this day and age, particularly against the Chiefs. Finally, interception by Roquan Smith. You get a clear pressure by Travis Jones just walking the center back into Mahomes' lap. Tell me what you thought of Travis Jones. I thought he played well. Maybe against the run, not as much impact, but he's very smooth, and he doesn't seem rushed or harried when he's making a move, especially his bull rushes or clubs. He's right here, by the way. Initially, he's going to get doubled, or 2 guys step to him. It's not really a double. And he ends up dealing with 52, the center, walking him back into Mahomes' lap. 62, the left tackle, Tunney, I think, is just stabbing him for a moment while looking to help elsewhere. And Jones has won to the leverage side. I thought Jones was a real problem for that center a handful of times during the game, 3 or 4 times. We're very blessed to be able to have him as our 3rd defensive tackle, 4th, wherever you want to put him in the list, I'm comfortable with. This is my look at some of the Ravens' pass rush opportunities. There were certainly losses in there. Is it enough? Oweh, Ojabo, Madubuike, some contributions of Travis Jones. I'd like to see Hamilton used more as a blitzer. I thought we were very vanilla on defense. Just an overall observation. I did not think that we made many adjustments post snap on the field, meaning after the Chiefs have lined up. It didn't seem like we were very willing to line up one way based on the call that came in and then shift or move to something else depending on how the Chiefs lined up. We almost appeared frozen, in my opinion, whereby whatever Zach Orr called to Roquan Smith in the headset is what we ran. I don't know that with 100% certainty. Some of it is speculation. You can tell me what your observations were. I did not see much on-field adjustments whereby we moved or appeared to shift coverages post-snap. Maybe there's different reasons for that. I'm not sure. Also, I think my memory, and perhaps yours, is a little bit skewed by 2023. How great we were at being multiple and making quarterbacks post-snap have to worry about what the coverage was, who was rushing, where they were coming from, and all of those factors oftentimes led to the quarterback holding on to the ball too long and then getting sacked or quarterback pressure that basically destroyed the concept or interrupted the flow of the quarterback's progression. You guys let me know what you think of the video that I created here with the plays that I selected to show how at certain times they actually were effective in the pass rush game, whether it was organic four-man rushes, picks, switches, or particular moves that guys used to get past what I think is a very high-level offensive line for the Chiefs, particularly in pass pro. Appreciate you guys' time, man. If you think other Ravens fans would enjoy this film study breakdown of the Ravens pass rush, albeit in limited fashion, for their Week 1 loss to the Chiefs, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.